Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Camppatton Family Compound. And tonight's show is co-hosted by Tammy Rebel Canners, and we may or we may not see Mark from Chef Tech in here. But it's the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and we'd like to welcome everybody here. And tonight's topic is going to be canning rabbits. And here the two of us are. And hang on, I got things popping up here from other stuff. And there we go. What else is okay? All right, I'm gonna go back to the top and say hi to everybody that's come in and find out whose side they're coming in on. All right, so first one in at just about 5.5 hours, a little over 5.5 hours ago, was Holistic Heritage Homestead. And Sue Me came in, Walt Rogers, Phelan Clan Wolf. I'm sorry. I'm going to show Phelan's comment just in case you guys haven't seen it. Yeah. And his second comment following up on it. Maybe it's because I don't send super chats anymore. He just sends every now and then. I say at least once a week I get a $5 Amazon gift card from him. So, and see, Walt Rogers has been a member for 21 months.
Nice.
And see, all right, and then over on your side, Tammy, Laura Fuss, Fuhs, came in, and Diana 2 is over there as well. And Diana 2 is also on my side as well. She's double dipping. Thank you, Diana. Let's see here. Lee Cold War Prepper's in the house. Kaylin Strain is here. Lisa Lou came in on your side.
Thanks. I have the weirdest shadow. Like,
yeah. King Poopaw is here. Hey, Dustin.
Dustin.
Let's see. I'm just trying to keep it. Misty E is in on your side. And and Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man, is in on my side. And am I missing something here on things going on here? Kaylin's King Poobah is telling Kaylin to pass the popcorn. Aiden I missed Aiden is here from across the pond. And I do not hear an echo. Misty E is here. So and Sumi's double dipping as well in on your side as well.
Hi, Sumi.
All right, so I had to be a funny guy. Or a punny guy, as CR would say. All right, she got it. Monty Python and the Killer Rabbit there.
I can tell you almost the exact day I watched that movie for the first time. And all 20 people that were in the room, I have forgotten their names.
I have not seen the whole thing yet, but my nephew and his first wife and their friends and stuff were showing me clips of it back before I got married. And so I saw little bits of it and stuff, and I never got around to actually watching the whole thing. But on YouTube, I've seen, pieces here, pieces there. And I know I've seen all the funny things. It's just a flesh wound, and the horses, thing, and the whole, you bring me a shrubbery. But yeah. But I do also have, as far as rabbits go and the Killer Rabbit, I do have the Monty Python Flux card game, which is absolutely hilarious. And has all the puns and all the quotes from Monty Python in it. Oh yeah, and like Sumi said, don't forget to hit the thumbs up on this and every side.
Yes.
All right. So, rabbits. Oh, what can I say about rabbits? Let's I got a couple pictures here, so let's take a look see at it. I bet Mark is working another double today.
Probably. He's been working really hard.
Yeah, they've been working to death. And see how long it takes the AI to recognize a fully dressed out rabbit. And there's lots of cool pictures of it. And there is one of the few good pictures I was able to find of it canned, but they forgot to do their headspace.
Yeah. That's okay. None of those jars are sealed.
And that's all the pictures I have that way. I just got a couple of pictures there on it. But interesting thing on it, since I created on the one computer, that's where I got all the good software. I emailed to the other computer where I run the program from, the live stream from. And afterwards, I was just fooling around, showing Danny some of why I was doing pictures and stuff. Someone put out a little article on what they do with rabbit meat. They grind it like hamburger and mix it with hamburger, so they got 50% hamburger, 35% rabbit, and 15% bacon.
Yeah, the bacon's to add a little fat because rabbit does not have enough fat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking, well, that's you getting I've heard of 50-50 hamburger and bacon burgers, and that's that company survived the Red Dragon. But I was thinking, that's probably going to make it more tasty for people that are leery about trying rabbit.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I grew up very redneck. We've discussed this. Very redneck. I grew up on the far side of redneck over there. And my dad, one of my earliest memories was going rabbit hunting with my dad. And again, I was the dog. So, hey, go jump on that pile of sticks and I'll shoot what runs out. So we would go in the winter, we would go snowshoe hare and get rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can add bacon fat, you could add tallow, especially, with your diet. That would be a good alternative.
Now, so I read somewhere, I really haven't brought this up before. I should have, back when we were talking about canning fish and stuff like that. Someone was talking about adding salmon to their hamburger.
I love
everybody has their own taste.
Yeah, I love canned salmon. I would not do that to my canned salmon.
Yeah,
but I really love the salmon.
But this is someone up in Alaska.
Yeah. Well, and you have to kind of whatever you're getting, you need to vary your diet. So if you're eating all the same, it's gonna be boring. So it makes sense.
All right. So Lisa asked you a question here. I'm going to pop it up here on the screen. How many rabbits per pint/quart?
So if you have a rabbit and you dress it out to 4 pounds, so you have 4 pounds of meat dressed, that would be roughly a pint's a pound. That would be 4 pints. So one rabbit would make roughly 4 pints if you weren't putting anything else in there. Roughly, give or take. Depends on the size of the rabbit. But generally, you're not going to get much more than 4 pounds of meat out of a dressed rabbit if you're just doing them at the 12-week marker.
Yeah. And like the one picture I showed of the rabbit with all the liquid in it. Couple of things I looked up. People were saying that they use chicken broth to put in with the rabbit, so it's it's not so dry and it doesn't dry out with all the little liquids in there coming out.
Oh, I would definitely add liquid to it, but I add liquid to everything meat wise I can. I don't raw pack. I usually add liquid. If you're doing a pint, you would want half a teaspoon. If you are doing a quart, you'd want a teaspoon. Now, to prepare wild rabbit, this is different than domestic rabbit. But to prepare wild rabbit, you're going to want to soak that in a saltwater brine for at least an hour, which is 1 tablespoon of salt to a quart of water. And that will help clean up the meat so that it is much nicer. And then you just rinse it off before you pack it. Yes, rabbits in a lot of areas are prone to parasites, and that's why we would hunt them in the winter, not in the summer, because there's a lot higher parasite load in the summer than there is in the winter. So you would definitely, you need to know when wild game. There's a reason they're in season at certain times of the year and not others, and that's one of them because of the parasite load. And that salt water will help kind of make it so you can see the parasites better to clean them up in the meat.
And Mother it's also added, she assumes domestic rabbits are different.
It's going to depend because, there are things that go through rabbit herds. There's 2 different ways. Domestic rabbits have been raised to be raised in cages on wire, so that all of their droppings and things fall to the bottom and they don't have access to their own poop in order to reinfect themselves with a lot of these parasites. Right now, and they've been doing that for several hundred years. Now, all of a sudden, colony style has come into fashion again, which is fine, but you're going to have a higher parasite load because those parasites can live in the ground a lot longer. So if you're not moving your rabbits and you're leaving them in one spot for a colony, you're going to have a higher parasite load.
I just saw some. Parasites in rabbits. Okay, so what I got, of course, now the Google's pushing their AI for the first response now on everything. Keep trying to tell it, I don't want to see it.
Nope.
Because I responded earlier to some stuff on it saying, because they were saying there's no ham in spam, and Hormel says yes there is.
Yeah.
And the AI was saying no, there's not.
Yeah, the AI only knows what it thinks it knows. It doesn't really know anything. Yeah. So it's getting bad information just like we do when we just do a search and get random answers. But now it's trying to make that the answer.
Yeah. Well, and here's what I'm going to bring this up just for laughs and giggles. So it says, according to SciSpace, and I can't aqueous extract of curcumin.
That would be cucumber or pumpkins.
Okay. Sorry. And then it lists the thing here. So basically, you're feeding them cucumber seeds and pumpkin seeds in.
Yeah, I misspoke. It's pumpkin. I had to think for a second.
All right, is a natural dewormer that can be effective for rabbits. In one study, rabbits were given different doses and had decreased excretion of. So let's see what everybody else says. How do you get rid of rat parasite?
And you're gonna want to be careful because it's very different in Great Britain and the UK than it is in the US.
Yeah.
So they have different things going on over there than what we do here. So if you're getting a UK response, it's not going to be.
Well, this, the first response here is from breadboxfarm.com. And it says, it didn't go with the naturally on it. It came up with that. Once again, another one's doing the same space one here. And then, so you guys can look it up and see what you think is best and what you want to do. If you're worried about it. Yeah.
Best thing is to keep your rabbit cages and around them very, very clean.
Yeah.
Get that black gold right out to the garden. That's my advice. Get it to the garden.
And here's Mark.
Oh, well.
Wait a minute. We're not cooking or canning raccoon.
Raccoons don't can raccoons. That's just wrong.
Too greasy.
Yeah.
They only can. What's up, Doc?
Okay. Got a question here off topic. Is it possible to explain how to use or what type of pH strips to purchase to check anything we can? Mostly to alleviate the nervous Nellies in my house.
I have not. If you go to my Facebook group and ask, you can probably get a bunch of people that have used them. I know people that have just used the pool strips and it shows the acid content.
Depends on what you're canning. You can buy a digital pH meter. They're just pricey.
Yeah.
Well, that's like $80 to $100, and that's
right. Well, depends on how nervous the Nellies are in the house.
Yeah. The other thing too to consider on that as well is the fact that what is the pH of the water you're using? If you're adding water to it, for your if you're brine soaking whatever it is, if you're adding water to to whatever it is you're canning or whatever it is, because we're like an 8.
Yeah, if you are following a standard recipe out of a nationally recognized website like the National Home Preservation, or my favorite is this one right here. Oops, I can't get the cover is falling off of this one. The Ball Blue Book. If you're following a recipe out of there, you're going to have the right pH. You don't have to worry, about your recipe. The only time you would have to worry about it is if you're going rogue and following a recipe that doesn't come from a reputable site.
Yeah, if you're going to mix like rabbit and tomatoes, you may make it a little bit of acid, but not enough to water bath it. So you still have to go with just standard meat times, regardless of what you put in there.
Yeah.
So education's a thing, not guessing at it and freaking out over the unknown.
And before we forget and get completely off the rails and answer questions, rabbit is the same as chicken. So as far as the times and the processing and how you do it, as soon as you've got it all cleaned, and brined,
Until I die.
Yes, it's the same as chicken. So you can follow all the standard recipes. So just because a recipe doesn't say it's a rabbit recipe, if you read 1990s Blah Blue Book, page 54, it says follow the same recipes for chicken. And all of them up until whenever have said that. So,
Well, so since she's going to be a rebel, I'm going to tell her to recommend is if you seriously want to do water bathing, get an Amish cookbook because they have.
yeah, but the one lady that had the Amish canning recipes,
It's not Amish.
I looked her up and there's a picture of her with her non-Amish parents in a bikini in her teens.
Yeah,
she's
just
still not Amish now. All of her Facebook pictures show her not Amish. Not one picture on her Facebook shows her ever being Amish. So they're using the word Amish now to sell things, sort of like they use the word health food.
Yeah. Or organic.
Organic.
Yeah.
Or non-GMO. You know,
Yeah.
the word doesn't really mean anything if you're not
pasture raised. Okay. Still doesn't mean they ate good food.
No.
Yeah.
I do not have a recipe for Hassenpfeffer. In fact, some recipes for Hassenpfeffer do not even include rabbits. FYI.
Bugs Bunny had a good recipe for it, and he was part of the ingredients.
Yeah, it's toast and cheese and
Oh, according to the cartoon, it was just like carrots, onions, and celery and a rabbit and a big cast iron pot on a stove. So,
All right, here you go. Here we go. Go and take that out.
You have one that includes rabbit.
The recipes for it, and here's a German wine-based rabbit.
Ooh.
Rabbit stew from All Recipes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all you need to do. That's what I put in recipes for that, and there are several here popping up.
So I can tell you my favorite recipe for rabbit.
Barbecue.
Nope. So once you've done the brine for an hour, pat it dry, roll it in flour, get a roast electric fry pan, put oil in it, brown that on both sides, turn it down to low, go to church for an hour, come back, make mashed potatoes the old-fashioned way, and your rabbit will be falling off the bone and like fried chicken and delicious. That's how my sister-in-law always made it, and her rabbit was the best. Salt and pepper, only spices.
Dustin, you're going to have to start wearing coveralls in your videos to finish that claim, and a black hat.
And a black hat.
You need
and suspenders.
Suspenders.
No mustache, beard only.
No flannel shirts. You got to wear the long sleeve black shirts or shirts.
White shirts with the black coat. But if you wear black coveralls and a white shirt, that should cover.
So funny story. My brother had a full beard, black dark rimmed thick glasses, full beard, wore flannel shirts, the red green suspenders because somebody bought them for him because we all thought we pretty much figured they were spying on him to make that show because he literally, before the show came out, had the windshield wipers attached to his chicken coop door to open them automatically for him. And dark green khaki pants. So him and his wife went for a second honeymoon to Niagara Falls, and it was Amish week at Niagara Falls, and they kept looking at him, asking him what order he was from.
I'm from the out of order.
You can get close and you can still fool them all.
Yeah.
I'm from the New York City order.
No, you should have said, I'm from the hillbilly order.
I'm not sure what he answered. I can't remember now, but that was quite a few years ago.
Well, Glenn's in here too, and yeah. So,
well, if you've watched Red on the Red Green Show, then you can honestly say you probably feel like you've met my brother.
Cool. So, canning recipes for rabbit. What herbs would you add generically to just about all rabbit?
Thyme.
Thyme?
Little thyme. Salt, pepper, thyme. That would be about it.
Basil?
No.
No.
And rabbit? Now, unless you're doing like a Italian stewed rabbit, maybe like a little tiny piece of basil, but then it's going to taste like chicken cacciatore. You can make rabbit cacciatore, I guess.
Any recipe you can make chicken, you can make rabbit. But I would I would do thyme, and that would salt and pepper, and that would be about it.
Okay.
Yeah, just remember whatever herbs, if you cook it and like it, and you have herbs in there, when you can it, multiply that herb flavor by about 10.
Yeah.
Because it traps everything in there, and when you open it, you're gonna be like, "Holy smoke! I don't remember adding that much basil."
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just instead you just do a pinch instead of a tablespoon for the big thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the reasons I was asking is that my daughters, had been raising rabbits and stuff, and they've been, dressing them out themselves and cooking them up and stuff. And she and her husband like it.
Mm-hmm.
The boys, not so much. Eli, especially not so much. Eli doesn't like chicken. He doesn't like steak, but he likes hamburgers. And he likes hot dogs. I got him into hot dogs, and I also got him to eat bologna now.
Yes.
But
so make rabbit bologna.
Yeah.
But but the other boys and stuff who are more open were still kind of. I told her, well, you need to make like a stew or something out of it. Mm-hmm. Well, now talking, use chicken recipes. So I'll talk to her and tell her to use chicken recipes and tell them it's chicken.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to
do. Grind it up and add some pork fat to it and some seasonings and make sausage out of it. You have to add a lot of fat because rabbit's so lean.
Yeah, rabbit makes really good sausage, ground sausage.
So just about any recipes for canning chicken you could use for rabbit as well then?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So trying to think, Jill Wagner, I think it is, Old Fashioned on Purpose, has done a bit of chicken canning, and unusual recipes. And Homesteading Family has canned a bunch of chicken too, using unusual recipes as well.
Lisa, it's great to see you too. I can't do anything because I'm on my phone. So I can't approve your post until I get off my phone. So hopefully one of the other admins will get it approved.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Cross-posted in your group. Okay. Yeah. So Glenn's very fond of rabbit pot pie.
Yes, and that'd be a great recipe because it would be cut up kind of finer, so it'd be harder for the boys to define that that's what it was. Yeah. Sometimes you just have to get past the thought of things. I know, it was hard. If I hadn't grown up eating it, it would be very hard for me to do it. And for a time, I raised rabbits, and it was very hard for me because they were my rabbits. Right now, I just have rabbits for garden poo and fertilizer. But, to each their own. And if I had to, I definitely could do it again.
I know growing up, my mother served rabbit one night and didn't say a word because she was good like doing stuff like that. And my sister and I and her and dad sat down, we're eating dinner, and I noticed I'm 3 years younger than my sister. I think I was like 9. And she had a roast rabbit on a plate, cut in half, and big dinner, big platter. And we're starting to eat. And she just told everybody it was chicken. And I looked down. I was like, Mom, why does the chicken have 4 legs and no wings? And I didn't care. It tasted fine. So I kept eating it. My sister, no, screaming, thumper, goes running into her bedroom and never came out for like a day. Yeah. So whatever.
Oh,
yeah.
Disney killed everything about eating wild game.
But see, in the 1940s, during World War II, a lot of people survived because they had rabbits. And rabbits are one of those things where you can go to your ditch beds and your edges of the woods and gather enough to keep them in food, and you can dry it so that you have hay in the winter for them. I mean, when I had rabbits, I was cutting tall grass in different areas out on my property so that, and drying it. And basically, I made enough hay to supplement their food in the winter and to keep them in some sort of fresh greens, even if it was a dried sort of fresh greens. Yeah, see? And it was just, this was in the UK. I mean, they still really use a lot of rabbit in the UK because of how that was one of the only meats they had when they were under siege.
Yeah. So this here is from the State College of Washington Extension Service. I can't find a date on it, but just from the wording and everything else, I'm saying it was Depression, World War II time.
Yeah.
So the 30s and the 40s. And I like the box here on the right. Every boy and girl should have a flock of chickens, a pen of rabbits, or
yeah. And see, kids could raise that, and supply food for their family. And a trio of rabbits can keep your family in meat for a year.
Yeah.
With some to spare that you could trade for other things.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing on this here, let me go back to it real quick here. Where is it? Every home should have a year's supply of home canned meats, vegetables, and fruits.
Yep.
You won't hear that nowadays.
Oh no.
Yeah. I just converted mine to freeze-dried meats, fruits, meals.
Yeah. And I'm building my stash back up since I've moved here. I'm starting all over fresh, which is nice, but also worrisome.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it just couldn't be afforded, even though they had it. People couldn't afford it prior to the start of World War II.
And each person was rationed 1 to 2 pounds of meat a week. Not a day, a week.
Yeah.
So with rationing, if you didn't have it at home that you were raising yourself, you didn't have it. Ooh, that does sound good. Not a fan of juniper berries, but I do like potted meats.
Yeah. So I'm just making sure I'm not missing any other comments on here.
Yeah, I have the Red Baron fired up so I can actually see comments on my side.
Well, it's not making hardly any noise.
No, it has been really quiet. I think I got whatever was in the fan out of it.
Cool.
A little bit better. So, oops.
Well, I don't know many people that have eaten turtle.
I do.
Have. Me.
My grandmother never mentioned it, and she was raised up there on the Indian reservation up in the Finger of Idaho.
That's why. Okay, so a lot of Native peoples, it is very against their constitution, religion. I don't want to say religion because that sounds stuffy, but
beliefs. It's against their belief
system. It's against their belief system. There a lot of places consider the turtle sacred, and they do not eat it. And I respect that. I found that out the hard way because they asked me, and I said, "Yeah, I've eaten it." And then they're like, "Yeah, I don't like you."
Well, here's a question for Mark. Come on, there it goes.
Should keep better because of not having
freeze dry just fine.
Yeah,
it makes
because
I would not freeze dry raw rabbit like I would with like beef, but I would, if you're just gonna cook it, blanch it, whatever, just to get it just cooked and freeze dry it. Yeah, sure, why not?
It also makes better jerky because it's so lean.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard people eating turtle soup and stuff, but now.
So snapper turtle has 7 kinds of meat in it. So when you eat it, it actually tastes like other things.
Tastes like rattlesnake.
My dad, who used
Mostly
to
it
eat
tastes like fried chicken.
My dad, who used to eat rattlesnakes out of vengeance because one bit him in the knee when he was 8 years old and stunted the growth of his right leg, ate them for revenge. And he goes, "Yeah, it tastes like chicken."
Chicken. Yeah.
Speaking of,
if you have to, though, with snapper turtle, you have to catch it alive. You have to give it water but no food for 24 to 48 hours before you process it. And you have to cook it really good in like a pressure cooker before you cook it to eat it. So it is not a one-step process because it does have a lot of parasites. It does have a lot of bacteria. It does carry salmonella, which is not a great bacteria. You don't want to get that when you're eating things. So
that's kind of why I don't eat turtle.
Hard to process. It's not an easy to, thing to eat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Our family of 3, 1 turtle would feed us for a very long time, and my mom did can it because otherwise it would go bad too quickly, or she would freeze it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically,
sorry.
So basically, we've kind of clarified that basically for canning rabbit, you treat it as chicken.
For canning rabbit, you treat it exactly like you would chicken. Bone in times or bone out times, and I always add water, little salt. If it's wild, you want to brine it first for at least an hour. We usually did it overnight before you rinse it off and process it. Especially like someone said, if you're in an area with a high parasite load, you're really going to want to brine it for a good 24 hours before you go ahead and process it so that you get all those parasites out.
Okay. Okay, I just saw Glenn's comment about rattlesnake is best chicken fried. Have you chicken fried rabbit?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. The best recipe I ever had was putting it in rolling it in flour, cooking it in oil, deep frying it on both sides lightly in oil, in a light thin layer of oil in a electric skillet, and then putting it on low. And the same with squirrel. And squirrel, since we're on this topic, squirrel and rabbit are both treated like chicken when you can them.
Okay.
And just for clarification, reptiles are treated like fish if you want to can it. I wouldn't suggest canning reptile. I mean, canned alligator chunks, maybe, I guess, but it's seafood. You got to treat it like seafood. Or there's no dinosaur times in the ball book, so you might have to just go with seafood.
Well, you would want the longer process.
Sauce. Yeah.
Again, salmonella in fresh swamp water is prevalent, so you're definitely going to want to clean it very thoroughly, brine it before you process it, and rinse it before you process it. The only problem with alligator is it winds up tasting like rubber tire when you can it. Some things just don't can well. They a lot of those seafood things like shrimp and alligator just wind up chewy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Be a rebel, Tammy.
My mom always taught me to chew my food really well, but I want to be able to actually swallow it and not just chew it.
And CB's in the house.
CB.
All right. So you said alligator, crocodile, same thing. I'm thinking down Florida where Glenn is. And some of the other areas, they got a big infestation going on down there in certain parts of Florida of the up in the trees. Iguana, yes.
Again, big time carriers of salmonella. You're going to want to treat it like seafood. You're going to do the longer pressure time, and you're going to brine it. 1 tablespoon of salt to a quart of water. Brine it at least an hour. I'd recommend 24 hours before you process it.
I mean, I can't just take an iguana, gut it, run a stick in its mouth and pop out its tail and throw it over the fire for a couple hours like they do on like Crocodile Dundee and all the TV shows.
Oh, you could. I'm just saying you run a greater risk of salmonella poisoning, which is not a fun bacteria to get in your GI tract.
No.
Just saying, I see all those catch, cook, and eat, and more power to you. I mean, there's some really great ones. I've watched them. That one guy, Blue Gabe, does the iguana, and he prepares it. I'm like, oh, I would like to eat that. But if you're gonna pressure can it, you're gonna want to brine it. You're gonna want to treat it. Little extra pre-treatment.
If you're gonna cook it over a fire, you better cook that thing till it's about burnt.
Charred, inside and out.
Charred, burnt.
Charred, yeah, char.
That is not chewing like alligator. It's not chewing anymore. It's crunchy.
Yeah, there you go. Char broiled with extra char.
Extra char.
All right, I just saw something pop up here, and I'm looking at it here for everybody. So in about 22 minutes or so, should be Cold War Prepper Lee is going live in about 22 minutes, and the topic, it says, don't let them get to you. So I'm not quite sure what he on that, but here is actually, let me put it this way here. Doing some copy and pasting here for you. And there we go. So there's the link for Cold War Prepper. And in its description, it says, warning, this discussion may burst some sacred bubbles.
Nope.
And so it's got some other things in there about that to be talking about tonight. So
I have a follow-up on last week's discussion.
Yeah. Okay.
So yesterday I had to go to town. There was a garage sale. I saw something laying on the table and I picked it up and it didn't have a price on it. I'm like, how much is this? And so she calls her dad and he says $10. I'm like, well, she goes, I think it's either $30 or $20. I said, okay. She goes, let me call him. I'll find out which it is. So she calls him. He says $10. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll take it. I just hugged it to me, paid the money, and ran to the car. I bought a grain mill, a hand crank grain mill for $10.
Nice.
$10.
Cool.
It's not the real expensive ones. It's one that's $44 on Amazon right now.
Okay.
But
so it's not the $15 or $14 one with the the little square thing.
No, it's got a hopper and it can do soybeans and corn, and they listed a whole bunch of stuff it can do. So.
I bought the one that fits on my KitchenAid mixer, the good mixer. I bought the one for that. It worked. I'd run one of my daughters and I bought some spelt grain or spelt wheat, whatever it was, at one of the local organic stores and that, like a pound. And it took a while to grind it up. And then we wound up making pancakes out of it, which were okay. It was a coarse grind, so I didn't turn it into a powder because it's messy. When it starts grinding fine, it just dust everywhere.
Yeah, and I think I have a old dresser that I think it would sit on quite well. So I probably will just hook it right onto the old dresser and do it outside. I think I might put a nice butcher block top on top of the old dresser and use it like a cabinet.
All right.
I was pretty excited to get that after last week's grain talk.
All right. To address Saturday's Gray Man prepping stream, there was no stream. I was outside working and totally lost track of the time. And by the time I realized what time it was an hour and a half late.
You told me you thought it was Sunday.
I kind of wondered because I went to look for it. I didn't see it. And I'm like, did he say Sunday or maybe I don't know. Saturday.
Yeah. So I'm going to roll that back into the schedule here later on. In fact, I already moved it back. But yeah, I got a video I recorded today for Gray Man prepping. I got it, finish editing it here after this live stream, and then I'll post it. But I was doing some measuring today, off topic a little bit here on the for that what's going to be in that video. So my shop is 40 feet. The pile of wood goes 35 feet in front of the shop, but it starts tapering down. A cord of wood is 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot stacked, and most of my pile out there is above 5 foot, and it goes out from the shop out. Well, some of it is at 24 feet, some of it's out to 30 feet.
Wow.
At 5 foot, and I still have the last 15 feet of the shop to fill in, and I got a bunch of wood out there, so I probably have well over 45 cords of firewood out there.
Wow.
That'll last about a week or two.
The big logs, seriously, that are about this big around or bigger, when those get split, it's going to be taking up a lot more area. So I may wind up, once everything's split and stuff, I may wind up over 50 cords.
Wow.
So
you better keep it well under cover and out of the rain and water so it lasts for a while and doesn't start to rot out.
Yeah. This winter it's going to get snowed on. It's going to get rained on. Unless I get stuff cleaned up enough where I can move some of it around where I can cover it up. But next spring, it's definitely all getting moved off that rock pad I had next to the shop. And I'm going to have to get concrete in there so I can bring over the 40-foot, 9-foot tall cargo containers, bring them over and put them on that pad, and then come off the shop and cover the last 8 feet between the shop and the first cargo container, and just start filling and stacking that stuff up, 9 feet tall.
Have you seen the other way they stack it, where they make it look like a corn crib, like a round?
Yeah, I've seen that, but once I have I was planning on using one of those cargo containers to fill full of firewood.
Oh, okay.
So what I'll do is I'll use one full of firewood, and the space between the shop and the cargo container, which will be about 8 feet, I'll fill that. So I'll be able to go 9 feet high or a little bit higher in there, and to keep it dry. But yeah, I'll have firewood coming out my ears for a while, and I'll have to get a bunch of the pallets from across the street where I have them stored over there, and just stack them, pile the wood on it, and tarp it.
Have you seen the USB totes where they put it in the USB tote cages? Then they're easier to move too if you need to move them around.
I did that last winter, not last winter, the winter before, when I had a bunch, and I was just trying to get it into the shop before the rain got to it, and I piled it in there. Yeah, they're really easy to move around, but you can only go half high if you really want to get them out easy. Right. So it's just one of those things that but
I crack
anyway,
up
so
when
that's what happened Saturday.
A little busy with a lot of wood.
Yeah.
I crack up when I see people selling half a cord of wood in the metal cage. They literally throw it in there. It's not stacked. So you'd be lucky to get a quarter of a cord of wood out of that, because it's all airspace. Yeah. You want a cord of wood, it is tightly packed, stacked 4x4x8, that's a cord of wood, not some random pile in a field.
Yeah.
Says, yeah, it's a cord, give or take. No, it's not.
Fear of spontaneous combustion? No, because nothing is composting. Nothing is breaking down, so it's not generating any heat. It's dry, and it's not like hay, because hay generates heat as if the moisture level's too high.
Yeah, exactly, Kay, when you got a Tetris packet.
All right, hang on a second. Something's going on.
So Mark, are you streaming this to your channel?
No, I'm not, because I was late because I had a lot of stuff going. That's why I texted you. Did you get my text?
No, I didn't, but I was probably already on here. I was on here 20 minutes early.
Well, you'll see it later and be like, oh, okay, he'll be late.
Sorry.
That's all right. I had stuff going on. I got my daughter's boyfriend staying for the night because their well is down. So she's at a friend's house. He's going to crash here for the night. And I'm waiting for him. I was cooking burgers and he's still not here and whatever.
I got a new hotspot.
Sweet.
So I was trying to get that set up and it didn't get it set up before it came today. And
now I did make I did it on my phone, on the iPhone. It was like, I was like, I've never tried this before. So it's like you can add pictures and short video clips and stuff and turn it into like a slideshow. And I did that. It came out really good. So I sent it off to my sister. And of course it has the Apple Music on there. So I'm like, yeah, before I post, let me do some research. Yep. Nope. So I'm going to take the music off of it, email it to myself, sort of. I can pull it down on the computer and add the free music off of whatever the program I have, which is copyright free. And it's not music. It's just like a repeating thing.
The only music I haven't had a problem with copyright strikes with, even YouTube's own music, I have a copyright strike problem with. Is the music that came with iMovie on my iPhone.
That's exactly that. Yeah, that's why I'm like, yep, no.
That's the only iMovie music is the only music I've not had a copyright strike from.
Really? Because I went on their website and it says on there that
if on Facebook, if I use and I do a Facebook reel and I use Facebook's music, I don't I lose monetization. If I go on YouTube and I use YouTube's music, I have lost monetization. So the only music I use is from my iMovie. That's it.
Because I got my sister's friends of hers have like a little random band. They have a name for it. And they just play like, it's like a banjo, a violin, two guitars. And they just play music. And I record, she sent me a video clip of about a minute and a half of them playing. I was like, would they be okay if I use that on my thing? They're like, yeah, you got to bring them freeze-dried apples because she gives my apples away. I was like, all right, give me a name and all that. So she's going to work on trying to overlay their music and do the cut-paste thing to at least give it and then put the name of the band in there. And because you can hear people talking in the background, even a dog barking at the end of their thing. So and people laughing and giggling. So it's live from somebody, but I'll put the name in there and we'll be good. And there's no way for them to look it up because they're not a known band. They're not a copyright band or anything like that. They're just a bunch of friends that like to play. I forget what they call themselves, but so I'll use that music and maybe the music on the, whatever this program I have on a computer. Cause I looked that up and it's not music. It's whatever the Corel program I have. It's not music. It's just sound. It's just like a random sound generator. The longer your video, it just keeps repeating itself. It'll stretch things out and add other things to it. So it's not a person that made the music and it's not copyrighted. I'll figure it out. If I put that on and get a copyright strike on it, I'll be like, fine, whatever. It's not like I'm putting Pink Floyd The Wall on there or something like that.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But it's a cool video. I was going to text it to you. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to bother her with that right now. It's like 2.5 minutes. It's not a short.
My grandson went home. So now I'm like free. Like, I have 10 videos in the can and I have to do, they're edited in order of the filming. Now I just have to do some fine tune editing and voiceovers. And I just have not had time. Yeah.
You store your videos in the can? So like what, in the morning you can watch it when you're in the can?
Yes. It's the best acoustics in the whole camper. Just like at home, best acoustics are always in the shower,
Yeah, I got the metal film cans I toss my videos in.
Yeah.
I actually grew up in that environment of the old of this motion picture studios,
Yeah.
and so in the can is something that I grew up with. I know exactly what it is. I heard something really weird back here.
We could hear it here.
Yeah, it's like something falling down, being
Yeah.
bonked around and stuff. Yeah, I couldn't find anything wrong. I'm not sure what's going on. Nobody's in the
firewood.
house, so that I could find. And so I gotta move some stuff in the mud room and see if there's anything going on in the water heater. But I didn't hear any water hissing or making noises in there.
It sounded like something fell or got like a bumped, like
Yeah.
like when you walk past something and you hit the
And to
broom.
me, it
or
sounded
something.
like it was down the hall a little bit. So what is like either in the bathroom, the hall bathroom, or in the mud room there. But I checked the other bedrooms and everything else, and I couldn't find anything.
Ooh, you don't have one of those suction cup mirrors or soap holders in your shower stall, do you? I do, and mine
only
falls off
in
on
the
a regular
master.
basis. Scares the crap out of me.
Only in the master bath. And every time I
Okay.
take a shower, I give it an extra push for the suction cup on it. So,
Well, check it. Maybe that's the noise you heard of it.
no,
The mirror falling off.
you can't hear that down here when it goes.
Oh. Gremlins.
That would have to be one heck of a collapse for me to hear it here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, gremlins.
No, those are grandkids.
No, there's no grandkids here. That's the first thing I do. I look to see if there are any, because there's a rule for the grandkids. They come into the mudroom, the shoes come off. Because they don't know how to stomp and clean their shoes before they come in the house. So the shoes come off, and there are no shoes there, and nobody playing with anything. So I'm not sure what in the heck it was.
It was a rabbit.
Rascally rabbit.
I'm thinking, if something got in the house, I'm thinking some sort of a rodent or a trash panda.
Oh,
Yeah.
But those can't get in. I mean,
he changed his whole icon though.
Yeah,
You're not
now
there, are
now I'm just a ceramic rabbit sitting on a pot. Yeah.
oh shoot! Hang on. I gotta look at something here real quick. Hang on. Do I got it? I got it. Yes, I do. There we go.
Perfect.
I was gonna do a screenshot of Bugs sitting in the pot, with that whatever other character chopping up carrots and
He was in the pot. Yeah. He was in the pot with Yosemite Sam, with the Tasmanian Devil, with the Martian.
Those are my favorite, with the Martian.
And then the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I'm talking old Bugs Bunny, not the new stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking the old stuff too. This is stuff when I was a kid, when you were still, when you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye. Yeah, I got Daffy. Yeah, Daffy too. Yeah, you're right, Daffy too. So I got Marvin Martian, Daffy. Okay, yeah.
I wonder what canned coyote would taste like. You just need some of that Acme salt and pepper to go with it.
The black pepper.
Yeah, the black powder pepper.
He never caught the Roadrunner, but if you did do Roadrunner, you would want to do it just like chicken.
Yeah.
If you can catch it.
If you can catch it.
Oh, did you know
there wouldn't be enough on there to make it worthwhile?
No.
Did you know we were totally lied to by Warner Brothers?
No.
The anvil really did fall on the Roadrunner? Oh, okay. I'm okay then.
All right, hang on. I got to go over here. I want to get these facts correct. I want to get it absolutely.
Cartoon facts. Okay, I'm there.
How fast is a Roadrunner? A Roadrunner's top speed is 26 miles per hour.
Still faster than me.
Apparently, it's faster than a coyote too. even strapped
A
to an active
coyote's
rocket.
speed is 35 to 43 miles an hour.
Is
Yeah,
that
but
is that
that's just
strapped
an
to an Acme
average.
rocket?
So if that roadrunner started taking off, next thing you know, whoop, the coyote would have got him.
Maybe, but that's just an average. Maybe our coyote was really slow.
And stupid.
Well, we
Come
know
on,
he's stupid.
Come on. He ran into what he thought was a tunnel, and it was just a black painting on a wall.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Where did the roadrunner buy all that paint?
It wasn't the roadrunner painting the wall too much. It was the coyote. And when he left the paint cans there, the roadrunner ran over and grabbed it and painted.
Oh, that's where he got the paint. Okay.
Yeah, Acme. Everything was Acme. Acme magnets, Acme rockets, Acme everything.
All right. So coming up this week on Gray Man Prepping tomorrow night for Tactical Tuesday.
You sure? Just checking.
Yes. You might be a prepper if
you can rabbit.
Thursday night is the midnight ride. Saturday, back here on Camppatton Family Compound, is fabrication to save money. We're going to talk about making things and building things to not only save money, but to make money as well.
I thought that was last Saturday. Just kidding.
No, Saturday was down the rabbit hole with spy
That's
software.
right. Yeah.
All right.
Keeping with the rabbit thing.
It had to be a rabbit thing.
Yeah. This Saturday on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday is stealth cooking.
Oh.
So we're going to be talking stealth cooking.
Didn't we do that similar once already? Maybe not.
We did campfire cooking. That's not stealthy if you have a lot of smoke.
Yeah.
No. Smoke and nice flavors and odors going out. Yeah.
So so that's coming up tomorrow. Is you might be a prepper, and this is specifically for your friends that I'm not a prepper who have started stockpiling stuff since the Red Dragon showed up.
Yeah.
Thursday is the midnight ride, which starts at 10 o'clock Eastern, because there's no city council meeting tonight. I mean, Thursday night. Fabricating save money on Camppatton on Friday, and Gray Man Prepping on Saturday is stealth cooking. Next Monday is going to be going back talking technical about canning on firewood.
Oh, okay.
So, and I got to find that again. I found a real cool reel, and I want to find it so I can take some snapshots of it. The guy took a double sink, cut a bigger hole in it to fit burner covers. The burner grates off of stove. Turned it over, put some screws in it, poured concrete in, put a bucket in it, poured concrete around it, and making a little
like a rocket burner.
Made a brick thing with this all sitting on it, and so sinks upside down, and had fire stations for each one, and he had basically had burners to campfire cook that way, wood burn that way outdoors.
Cool.
But so I'm going to try to get some pictures of that to share with you guys.
That'll focus the heat right into your pot.
Mm-hmm. And so we're going to talk about, because everyone wonders, well, can I can outdoors? Well,
sure.
We're going to talk about what's the easiest and the hardest and the proper way of doing it, and other ways besides just firewood to, even though the topic is canning on a wood fire, I want to throw a little bit of extra stuff in there like briquettes and coal.
I'll send you a picture I saved this week. I sent it to my son who's a welder and said, make mom this.
That'll be next Monday here on Camppatton. All right, so I think Lee is Yep, looks like he's I got the ads popping up, so he's going live right now. So all right, everyone. If you're not canning, try it. It's not that scary and dangerous. Start simple, start canning water. Practice with water. If it goes wrong, you're not ruining anything. You can can it again.
That's right.
All right, everyone. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepping.